Hello, my little mushies. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Summer, and I'm so happy to have you here. And happy St. Patty's Day. I hope that you had a wonderful day, and whether you drink or don't drink, or if you celebrate or you don't celebrate, I still hope you had a great day. And if you do drink, I hope you didn't wake up with too much of a hangover. Anyways, you will be seeing this on the Saturday after St. Patty's Day. However, I am filming it on St. Patty's. So I worked today, and all day I was making micheladas for everyone and their mother, which is not very Irish of anyone, but I was craving one and I was like, you know what, let's do it. So I made myself a little non-alcoholic michelada, or I guess this is really more just a red beer since there's nothing special in there, but it's a spicy one. Okay, today we will be doing the St. Patrick's Day book tag. This one was created by Emily of Emboli List. Did I say that right? I'm not sure. But that is what I think is the name, and that's what I'm going with. So let's get started, shall we?
Feel me? Yeah, yeah. She my peanut butter jelly snack, pull it, ride, busty, painting. That's my sunshine when it's raining. That's my boo, yeah.
Question number 1 is End of the Rainbow. What book did you have a hard time tracking down? The most recent book I had the hardest time tracking down was Mexican Gothic. I'm not gonna have a lot of the books that I talk about today because most of them are library books, but I do own a copy of Mexican Gothic by Sylvia. Sylvia Morona Garcia. And this was my first read by her, and it was also, yeah, and I had the hardest time finding this book. Okay, let me tell you the story. I seen this book at Target months prior to wanting it, and I almost bought it. I was like, wow, this looks unique, but I didn't know what it was, and I already had a book that I had been really wanting in my hand, so I chose not to get it. A couple weeks later, everyone started talking about this book, and I was like, dang, I should have gotten it. So I was like, okay, no worries. I'm going to just go back to Target and get it. I went back that day, and guess who didn't have it? So I was like, okay, I'll wait. And waited, and I waited, and they still didn't get in stock. So then I said, okay, I'm gonna go check Barnes and Noble. And they didn't have it. They were sold out. And I was like, what the fuck? And at that point, I was like, okay, now I really want this book. So it took me a really long time to finally get it. I ended up ordering it on Amazon, and then my package got, I don't know if it got stolen or whatever, but I almost didn't get my package. A different package got, no, it didn't get stolen, now I remember. When my package arrived at my door, I was so excited, I jumped up, I was home, went and grabbed it, opened it, it was a coffee grinder. And I was like, wait, this isn't what I ordered. So, checked the label, it was from my upstairs neighbors on the other side of us, and I was like, okay, well maybe they got my package. So I went and knocked to give them their coffee grinder, and she was like, oh, well thank you for delivering it to me. And I was like, oh, you're welcome. But I was too awkward, I didn't want to be like, hey, did you get a package for me? So I was a little bit like, bummer. And then I have terrible cell service in my apartment, so I had to walk out and I started calling and texting Amazon because I was like, well, this didn't get delivered, and that's a bummer. So then my boyfriend, he called me and he was like, hey, someone just dropped this box off. And I got to the apartment, it was open, so maybe whoever got it was a little disappointed that it was just books, but I was so happy that they were disappointed because they dropped it back off my house, and I was very happy about it. So, I struggled getting that book. Moving on. Question number 2. Pot of Gold. When you found that book, was it worth the quest? The next thing in Gothic was totally worth the quest. I understand why no one had it in stores. I understand why it was selling out. It was so good. I read it during Halloween, and it was the perfect little vibey, creepy, Gothic story. This was my first Gothic horror novel, and I'm obsessed with it. I start my channel off saying, hello my little mushies, which is short for mushrooms. I'm very fascinated by mushrooms, and just like, if you've read this book, you understand, okay? Why I might love this book. Anyways, moving on. Celebrating a rich heritage. Name a book that contains a well-developed culture. Now, I think I get this question. I sometimes don't understand things, so I'm pretty sure I don't understand quite what this question is asking. But The Year of the Witching had a well-developed culture, I feel like, even though it wasn't a great culture. The culture, when you started reading it, you got put into that mindset and feeling of their culture that they had going on. It was it was not a great culture for sure, but I think it was a well-developed culture. And so yeah, The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson, I think did a very good job of developing that crazy cult-ish culture. Okay, moving along. Shamrock shakes. What's your favorite snack to munch on while reading? I don't know why this is. Probably because I have like 6 foods that I like to eat. But quesadillas or chips. And not the clean kind of chips. No, I like the messy chips. You know, the ones that get all of your fingers. I have to be better about that, because then I'm like trying to turn the page, because I'm also like a book perfectionist. I don't want them to be ruined, so I'm a mess and a half when it comes to that. But yeah, I really like to eat my quesadillas while reading. So yeah. Next. 4-leaf clover. Name a book that you didn't think would be anything special but turned out to be great. This one is Get a Life, Chloe Brown by Talia Herbert. To be honest, when I first started it, I thought it was just gonna be another love story. And I was like, I've read plenty of those, and I know half the freaking booktube was going crazy about it. But I did not realize how great this book was. I still can't, like, I was just talking to my boyfriend about that book in the bookstore the other day, and how obsessed I am with it, and how great it was, and how adorable it was. And yeah, I truly, truly loved that book. And if you haven't read it, you should. You should definitely, definitely read it. It's a beautiful, beautiful love story, and it's steamy. Yes. All right. And then for the final question is Irish whiskey. What is your favorite tradition about St. Paddy's Day? And well, that would be the beer, of course. I don't partake in drinking that often anymore. However, my drink of choice is beer. It wasn't always that, but when I got into beer, I was like, yes, okay, this is my thing. And I love a good Guinness, and A lot of people don't like Guinness because it's like heavy, but I think if you're into more darker, full-bodied beers, Guinness isn't bad. Yeah, so cheers to that, I guess. But that wraps up my St. Patrick's Day book tag. But yes, whether your sun is shining or your moon is glowing, I hope you had a very, very peaceful day. And I hope you're having a great St. Patty's Day, or you had a great St. Patty's Day. And yeah, don't drink too many Irish car bombs, and get home safe. Or I hope you got home safe. Anyways, because that is it for now, my little mushies. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.